Hey, good afternoon. It's Chris Robinson, Robinson Ag Marketing, with today's post-close grain and livestock comments. Interesting day. Corn down 2 cents. March corn finished down at 421 and three quarters, down 2 cents. March beans. We talked about, can March beans get above that 25% retracement at 1069, 1070 area? If we can, we'll push higher. We backed off there once again. So it's the second or third time that 1069 has failed in March beans. That's a concern. March wheat down 2.5 cents, 507 and three quarters. So we've had a little bounce here in the grains. I'm more concerned about what's going on in new crop. New crop corn is 449 and three quarters, down three quarters cent, under 450. If the high of the year so far was 66 and change, if we take out 50, I think we're going to have a potentially problem there. So maintain a floor. Don't want to be in a situation where we are grind lower and you don't have something done. In the new crop soybeans, back up to 1077. Are we going to get an $11 print? I sure do hope so, but it's kind of in the same ballpark. We've had a bit of a retracement. There's a lot of resistance at 1080. So can we push higher? I hope we can. It's interesting. We don't have any new sales. The Chinese are officially done buying buying soybeans. They've supposedly booked all 12 million metric tons. Now, is it going to ship? I don't know. It should ship out in the next month, but the feeling is the Chinese have bought their 12 million metric tons. The bigger question will be is what is on tap for 2026. Now, they don't usually buy our beans this time of the year anyhow, because why? Well, they're getting ready for South America's beans. South America is about to start harvesting, and there has been no weather issue. So they were going to have record crops down there. So all that supply is coming on board, and when you have more supply on top of good supplies, it doesn't pencil out to be super bullish. I'll say that much. So defend what you can. Hopefully, we get a weather issue here in North America this year, because that's about the one thing we are going to be looking at here to drive us higher with the current supply situation, the current carryout. Moving over to the protein complex. Fat cattle, feeder cattle, and hogs all higher in the day. April fats finished up 3.375 at 234.95. We weren't able to make new highs. That's a question. We do have a USDA report coming out on Friday. We're going to have a cattle on feed Friday after the close, so you need to get hedged before that. Fat cattle have rallied $35 off the bottom. Feeder cattle have rallied $72 off the bottom. That is a tremendous amount of revenue to just let go up in smoke in case we have, another headline and another big sell-off. Remember how upset you were on the last time we sold off heavily and you didn't have any hedges on, or you didn't have the hedges on that you wanted. If you do have puts on, I would roll them up aggressively. Try and capture as much of the $70 rally in feeders as you can. Try and capture as much as the $35 rally that you can that we had in fat cattle. In the hogs, new highs for the move there as well. April finished the day up 50 cents, up 42.5 cents. But more importantly, we are up here testing 95, 96 level. 96, if we take out 96, that'll be a new contract high. You can go all the way out to the deferreds. July traded to 109 and change, settled at 108.80. The next target out there is going to be obviously psychologically 110. But again, I can't stress it enough. On November 21st, that contract was trading at 94 cents. It's trading at a 108 now. 15 bucks. It's something absolutely positively worth hedging. In the outside markets, we had another wild day in the stock market with President talking about what was going to happen with Greenland. Now all of the tariff issues are off the table. They've come to some sort of agreement with NATO. That could change tomorrow. The way things change, every 12 hours if someone posts something different. But the stock market like that. You still have some issues there with the bond market being concerned that the Fed may not cut rates next time, given the latest economic data. You do have people talking about what's going on with the Japanese long bond, because they're in a situation where their bond rates are increasing as people get more concerned about their economic slowdown. And what happens is nobody wants to buy those Japanese bonds unless the rates get higher. So is that going to roll over to the U.S. market? I don't know. That'll be probably the big thing to watch here macroeconomically for the next 6 months. Heating oil, diesel. I talked about this at length when we went down. We traded down to once we got below 210. We did trade as low as 205. It was a 7-month low. That was after we had traded 271. So that was a pretty big gift. It was a 7-month low. And lo and behold, as it has gotten cold here in North America, that market has spiked up. A very technical rally. Hopefully, if you're a big end user, um, those lower prices caught your attention. Hopefully, you were able to do something about it before we've had this latest spike up. But we have spiked just about 40 cents in a matter of days. All right, on that note, this is Chris Robinson, Robinson Ag Marketing. I will be posting my client webinar tonight. It's going to be probably 30 minutes long. There's a lot of charts I'm going through there. I'll try and explain exactly what I'm looking at chart wise. Hopefully, you take a look at that. Hopefully, it helps you out. This is Chris Robinson. Have a good rest of the night. Take care.